beautiful. I want to be one of the first to welcome you into the brilliant 2019 in English. You'll look ever as gorgeous in the new year as well. 今年も愉快な英語のお兄さん、チャラ男です。本日は新年スペシャルということで、英語のみでラジオ版のトークをお送りいたします。人種差別についてと少し難しい話題を解説していきますので、必要な方は画面内の字幕をご覧ください。As we've moved on to a new year, I want to bring up a topic that's always in question. It's a question that I get every now and then from my students, which is there racial profiling or discrimination in the United States? The answer is sadly yes, to some extent. I will tell you first though, that living in the US as an Asian American for over 20 years, I personally have never been a direct target of hate crimes or hate speech. And I've lived in different areas across the nation, from East Coast cities to the South and across to the West Coast. I also take road trips across the US every year, so I've been to pretty much all states in the nation, from major cities to rural areas. I've been to the regions in the nation where the education system is different, where people would make remarks like, "Do you speak Spanish? You look Mexican. Is Japan inside of Mexico?" I'm 100% certain that she didn't mean it in a demeaning fashion. The Asian population was apparently abnormally low in that particular region, that even when we were having these small talks, the person I was speaking with did not have the extensive knowledge of the Asian geography or culture that made it difficult for her to hold an intellectual conversation. Now, what I've just told you is my assumption. Notice that I said I was in a region where the education system is different. The particular region I'm talking about is a rural area in the state of Louisiana, which has one of the lowest education attainment rates in the United States. So, why did I use the word different when I actually meant poorly educated? That was my rephrasing so that what I say sounds beautified than what it actually is. And we all do it. We all do it. We try to sound inclusive when what we're actually saying is nothing but classifying a certain group or category of people that is different from the one you belong in or want to belong in. If I were to meet another person from the rural areas of Louisiana again, would my uncontrolled response be that he or she is undereducated even before holding an extensive conversation? Shame on me if I really do. The worst I could do, or you could do, is to make an assumption of a certain group of people without actually knowing the individual person. Even if I have traveled across Louisiana numerous times, I have neither been in nor have seen the actual K-12 system in the state. I don't have any close friends that were born and raised in that particular region of Louisiana either. The ideal approach when meeting a new person is to see him or her for who he or she is, regardless of the person's nationality, social class, race, and other such classifications. Remember that I said Louisiana has one of the lowest education attainment rates. Louisiana ranks in at 46th on the list out of all 50 states in the US with an 83.4% high school graduation rate according to the US Census. Now, if you have any idea of the US geography and states, where do you think has the lowest education attainment rate based on this ranking system? Take a guess on which state comes in at 50th place. The answer? California. With the tech industry in Silicon Valley, upscale neighborhoods like Beverly Hills and Bel Air, world-class colleges, you probably would have never known. Here is where prejudice comes into play. We, as people, make certain assumptions to a degree. As long as the word discrimination exists, and it is not a word that only appears in the dictionaries and history books, then discrimination itself exists. The reason we are so sensitive on this topic and debate on it is because discrimination exists to a certain degree to this day. You can rephrase it however you want. Bias, prejudice, filter, classification, distinction. That thought leads me to the question, are we still living an extension of separate but equal? Things that you see in the media of a person of a certain color getting shot by a police officer or someone getting yelled at with racial slurs from a stranger aren't the things you see every day with your own eyes firsthand. Such actions are so politically incorrect and disgusting that it attracts many viewers. That's why it's news that goes viral. They intentionally impose harm upon others. We can only do so much to prevent hate crimes and hate speeches because the people who do it already know how wrong their actions are. The real problem is the more subtle parts. It's the question that we never ask and turn into biased assumptions. It's the things you can't see with your eyes or hear with your ears. That is something we can control as an individual, as a society, as a nation, by raising awareness. Spread awareness of your culture and ways of thinking. Spread awareness of history and why you think what you think. Spread awareness of your identity. Spreading awareness and listening to them firsthand is what avoids the confusion and the reason people make assumptions. The majority of you who follow me on YouTube and Twitter are the people who study English. English is the most spoken language in the world. We all know that, and that's exactly why you study it. It's a tool to communicate with others just like any other language. It's just that English is spoken and understood by a lot more people than other languages, so it's convenient. It's not that English is a necessity, but as I said, it's a convenience. It allows you to raise awareness of your identity and interpret others by speaking in a language you understand without changing the original meaning via translation. As we begin a new year, in which you are stronger than ever before, think about the words you use to express yourself. Think about how much judgment you make prior to knowing much about others or from only knowing a small sample or secondhand source. There are no two individuals that are identical, and that is what brings the joy and curiosity of knowledge and acceptance in the 21st century. Cheers to you, beautiful, for a prosperous 2019 and the years beyond.